Good morning, everyone. As Rebecca Black said, happy Friday. Sonia, sorry that woke you up. Hopefully not too crazy this morning. Hey, Jess, Trish, all our friends are on this morning. March 15th, the day after Pi Day. I'm sure you're quite full from all the pie that you ate yesterday. We have a couple things that we'll update our group on. As always, we'll share some time for question and answer, and we'll get the weekend started off right. By sharing some common messages. As we've said every time, the purpose of this is to be able to share across audiences, goals, vision, and clearly communication for everybody so that we hear the same things at the same time. Like I said just a second ago, we have a couple of things, 2 upcoming events that are newly in the registration system that we'll share so that everybody has the context to those and also be able to get registered. We have some things that we've updated on our website to help people order materials. So I'll share that. And then prior to us venturing off into our Friday, we'll open it up for any question and answer that there might be. So good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. Our first event, which is one that has filled, we've run this a couple of times already, and it fills really, really quickly. So know that by sharing this one here, you better get registered if you're interested. We have a Learning Lab facilitator, that was hard to say, training on May 15 and 16. This one's going to be in the Livonia area. We're not exactly sure the space in the hotel or the school yet, but we do know the specific area and the dates. So if you're interested, registration is open. As we do this training, as you know, we go through and teach the facilitation and what the structure of the day will look like. But also one of the really cool things is we embed an actual learning lab within the training. So you'll be able to see it and feel it live in person. If you're interested, Heather just helped us by placing the link to the registration in the chat. So feel free to grab that, or you can find that on our registration page that we've shared a few times. Remember, when you get to the registration page, if you click events, you'll see the Early Math logo, which will take you to all of our events. Any questions about the Growing Learning Lab facilitators? I'll be looking at chat. Feel free to put those in chat. Not seeing any. As always with these trainings, and especially this one, we're hoping that this is training you to be a facilitator and giving you the resources that you need so that you can actually host and facilitate labs in your context, whatever that context might be. So know that, yes, it's a training. Yes, the training is great, but we hope that this actually transfers back to your home base, whether it's at the regional level or the local level, and you are able to integrate learning labs into the professional learning structure that you support. Up next is registration just went up for our Early Math Leadership Institute. As you all know, we've had 2 years of this. We've been in Traverse City in the 3rd week of August for each of those 2 years. This year it is shifting because we know the 3rd week of August is not the best time for a professional learning event because districts are getting back, and that's a really, really busy time. So we did move it to the first full week of August, which is the 5th, 6th, and the morning of the 7th. In order to move it, though, we had to leave Traverse City because there wasn't a space big enough for us that was open that week. So we did move to Grand Rapids. We'll be at the Amway Grand Plaza. There is the flyer, which I think Heather just put in the chat. If you want to grab that, it has all the details that you'll need. Know that this event specifically is built for teams. So we hope that if you're on this and you haven't heard or attended the Early Math Leadership Institute before, we hope that you are with a school-based or district-based leadership team or an ISD-based leadership team. And obviously those two things will mix together quite nicely. For those of you that have been there, know that we provide wedding seating, which basically means we seat you with your team. So if you're a local district team, we will be seating you with and by an ISD team that might be there as well. So we hope to be able to blend those two worlds together well. If you're from the UP, know that right now the registration does not show remote sites in the UP. We're working to finalize those details. That registration will be coming soon. So If you're thinking, I don't know that we can drive the 9 hours that it takes to get to Grand Rapids from the UP, know that there are remote sites coming. We just have to finalize a couple of the sites and the details, and then registration will go live. As always, we hope to fill the room. In the past 2 years, we've had about 230 to 250 people registered and attend. This year, we have a larger room, which is why we're inviting more local leadership teams to be a part of the event, so we can fill the 450 to 500 person room that we have for those 2.5 days. The short of our schedule for the Leadership Institute: Monday, we'll be focusing on Essential 7, which is story-based problems grounded in context. On Tuesday, we will be partnering with our literacy friends in the Literacy Essentials to identify a common instructional practice or practices across math and literacy to have a math and literacy day on Tuesday. The addition to Tuesday is, you'll notice when you go to the registration, there is a space for literacy leaders to join our mathy friends on Tuesday. If you have a literacy consultant as you're building your ISD team or your local district team, a literacy coach, it might be interesting to include them in your team on Tuesday. You'll see the registration in the registration page already. There is a passcode for Tuesday. I believe it's math plus literacy, but I bet Trish or Sonia might be able to help us out by putting that in chat just to make sure I have the ordering of those words correct. I don't think that information is on the flyer yet, but we do need to get that on there, so know that that will be coming. I'll pause and see if there are any questions about the Early Math Leadership Institute. I'm not seeing any, so we'll continue forward. One thing we've done on the website, and some of you have found this, I'm sure, is place on the resources tab. If you click that tab at the top of mathessentials.org, it'll take you to a page that allows us to share with you how you can order some of the materials that we have for your sites, your professional learning, in your context. So things that you can order on the resources tab with the directions that are there are, the Essentials booklets. So we have a few different options. The Math Essentials partnered with the organizational practices, or with the full suite of GELN Essentials at the elementary, or the full suite of GELN Essentials from birth to 12. So those options are there. We normally use International Minute Press in Lansing. The number is there. They're very familiar with our work. So if you're looking for Essentials booklets, know that that is where you can order them. Just go to the resources tab on the website. The other really cool thing that we've been working on, and many of you have seen these previously, are the Early Math playing cards. So you see pictures of them there. We have a couple iterations that are out already, but also some more that are coming out. Know that you can order those playing cards as well. So if you scroll down at the bottom of this same resources page, it'll give you the same information around International Minute Press and how to order those playing cards if you're interested. So know that those are there. The thing that we have to share to go along with the playing cards, which really comes from a lot of work of Trish, who's a friend on the Early Math team, and also the Early Math Task Force, is the document that has an organized list of early math games that you can play with the cards that we're developing. So as you see on the screen, and Heather will probably put this in chat, the games document that's already established. This is a Google Doc, so we'll probably continue to edit and add more things. Know that each of these games, right now, some of them have a video. So the one that I picked to take a screenshot of has that QR code, and you'll notice some real cute kids playing the game so that you can kind of see what it looks like in action when you are playing the game that the QR code is for. So know that this document exists. There are quite a few games on there already, and we'll probably continue to add them as we continue to develop more games and also more decks of cards. This link Heather has put in chat, so you have access to that document. Know that we'll be integrating these into the Institute and some of our other events as we could start the day with some soft starts like we did last August with Dr. Amy Noel Parks. Yeah, and Trish, I think you're probably in a video or two as well. Thanks, Heather. We do have some bookmarks from our Fact Fluency course. If you are someone who has went through that, the content of those bookmarks will make a lot of sense. If not, the work aligns with Dr. Gina Kling's work that she's done with Jennifer Bay Williams to create some of their book and games around fact fluency. So take a look at the bookmarks as well. I believe Heather put that link in chat as well. Thank you, Heather. You're working real hard this morning. I'll pause just for a minute to see if there's anything specific on the resources page. Oh, thanks, Trish. The questions on the bookmarks are great to go along with the games. Last but not least is just a space for any other questions or comments that we have while we're all together here this morning. So I'll just pause and see what's populated in the chat, if anything. Just perfect, Trish. Thank you. Math plus literacy. I'm going to guess that the case matters. So capital M, capital L, with a mathy plus in between is the passcode for the literacy peeps to join the Institute on Tuesday. Heidi, thank you for section 23, or sorry, the grant 23H, section 1. Yes, there will be Number Corner included in that application. More to come as we finalize that application here soon, especially to our MAISA math consultants and GELN directors. But yes, Heidi, Number Corner will be a part. John, great question. Yep, I think you saw it. I think there is an important thing that was sent out to the math consultants and many other groups across the state on section 2 of 23H that we're hearing instructional materials are likely not to get funded in section 2 in an application. So if you haven't seen that email yet, take a look at that email and send me any questions that you might have that come from it. The short of it, in an application for section 2, high quality instructional materials, it's our understanding that MDE is planning to fund a process. So stipends for teachers, maybe some lunches, maybe a facilitator, but not purchase the end product for a district or school that is decided from the process. And pausing just to see if there's any others. As always, know that I'm here. Feel free to send me an email or a chat. In the app, it's easy to send a text message using that. Heidi, reading your question. Thanks, Heidi. So yesterday, I had the opportunity to present to GELN, and one of the topics that we shared with the General Ed Leadership Network through MAISA is the information for the next cohort of Number Corner in Essentials in Action. So this is separate from 23H. As some of you know, we have Essentials in Action, which has launched Number Corner and a robust professional learning system across the state in about 210 classrooms. We are doing that program again next year. Yesterday, GELN members were shared a Google form where we hope that they submit a contact at the ISD for us to communicate with, and then also about how many kits they would appreciate. So we said each ISD can have about 4, but that number is flexible a little bit. So think 4 plus or minus 2-ish. So as you're thinking, if you're at the ISD level especially, might you want to include another grade level team from the same building from Essentials in Action from this past year, onboard a new grade level team from a new building Those are some questions that you'll have. But right now, really what we need from every ISD is, one, are you interested? If the answer is yes, who is the contact at the ISD that you would like us to communicate with? And about how many kits would you like? All of that is in the Google form that I shared with GELN yesterday. If you're on the call and are an ISD math consultant, feel free to reach out to your director. They'll have that form. If they don't know what you're talking about because they weren't able to attend or were falling asleep while I was talking, feel free to just send them an email and tell them, look at the agenda. I did link it on the GELN agenda as well. All right, I'm not seeing anything else coming in. So know that we're here if you want to reach out. I hope all of you have a lovely Friday. Looks like it's going to be a good day and hopefully a good weekend for you all. Again, if you need anything, know that I'm here. Feel free to reach out, myself, Trish, or Sonia. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.